All right, let's talk a little bit about your 13 vocabulary words for the short story unit. Okay, first off, boom. Careen is the first word, and you notice it's a verb, and I want to talk a lot about the parts of speech. It's a verb that means to lean or sway or tip to one side while in motion, and you can think about, something careening from side to side as it barrels down the hill. It is a verb, so um, you're going to see careened or to careen. Think of it in terms of that. It is that movement and that action, but it is a verb. Infallibility. You know it's a noun because it ends in ity, and a lot of nouns um, end in ity. It is an abstract idea. It is the state of being exempt from liability to error. It is basically, in layman's term, it is the state of being faultless or flawless and infallibility. And I always think of the Pope as being religiously infallible because that's what the Catholic Church teaches. Um, Adulation, Tion, it's a noun. Excessive devotion to someone. Usually, adulation is excessive praise or devotion. And again, you're thinking in terms of if you see the word the in a sentence and you have to fill in the blank on a test, and I hate to use a test because we don't use language on tests, we use it when we write, when we think. But if you see the blank in the house, you know the blank, it has to be a noun. So you're going to say, oh, it's going to be either adulation or it might be infallibility, but then you have to know what the word means. And the only, if you don't know what the word means, you're going to be in trouble. Askew, crooked or not straight. It's an adjective. No ending helps us to know that it's an adjective. You just have to know it's a describing word. The Leaning Tower of Pisa is slightly askew. Exorbitant, ant, is an adjectival ending. It's a describing word, exorbitant, like exorbitant fees, highly excessive, usually like in an amount or an extent. The exorbitant amount of adulation they gave the person, and then we can use two of them, right? So that would be like a super amount of devotion or praise that somebody was giving if we put the two together. Haha. I like that. I might do that on the test. Um, Fetter, verb, to confine or restrain. And it can be like literally confined. You can be fettered to the wall, but you can be also fettered by indecision and confined or restrained by your own indecisiveness. It's a verb, so it's something you do. Palpable, able, is an adjectival ending, capable of being touched or felt. It's palpable. Um, the sheets are palpable. The wall is palpable. The air, when it gets really, really wet and humid, is palpable. Preclude is a verb to make impossible. Um, if you um, if you do not study well for the test, it will preclude any chance of you doing well. It will make impossible any chance of you doing well. Preclude verb. Sensuous, perceived by or affecting the senses, and usually in a positive way when we think of sensuous. Not always, but it can be. It's a sensuous, anything that deals with your senses, the sense of touch, sense of smell, taste. Oh, eating that salmon was a sensuous activity, or eating the chocolate mousse was a sensuous activity. You know that it made your senses tingle, your taste buds. Subside, to sink or to a lower level. Subside. So my anger can build and then it will subside and get less, and it is a verb. Our last three words: righteous, ous. It must be an adjective, and it describes something that is morally right or justifiable, or having a strong sense of right and wrong. Um, the man was righteous uh, as he, um, or the man felt as if he was righteous as he preached to the people on the street. We're not using the slang version of righteous, which I think some people did, which was like, wow, that's righteous. Man, you are righteous, which would be, like superlative. They are super, and they're really cool, and they attract awe and wonder. That's not what righteous is used in your story. It's meaning someone that has a sense of right and wrong, or describing something with a strong moral compass. Vexation, it's a noun, Tion, the state of being irritated or annoyed. And I will say that I did have a strong vexation the first time I looked at the test scores because they were a lot lower than I had anticipated and really what I had expected and hoped for. And lastly, vitality. I do have vitality, ity, noun. It's a strong sense of energy and vigor, and I do have a vitality and that vitality helps me to overcome my initial vexation, and I will not try to be too righteous or even self-righteous when we do review. I'm going to try my best to simply give you the information you need, and hopefully you will use it well. That's 6 minutes. I am done. Thank you. Bye.